Welcome to The Explainer. Every single price you pay, from your morning coffee to a concert ticket, isn't just a random number. It's set by this powerful, invisible force. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it all works. All right, so let's just dive right in. We have all been there, right? You're trying to buy something, and the price seems to have a mind of its own. It can feel totally chaotic. But what if I told you there's a surprisingly elegant system behind it all? And here's the thing. It's not random at all. It's actually this constant dance between two huge, competing forces that shape our world. On one side, there's us and everything we're willing to buy. And on the other, you've got the sellers and everything they're willing to offer. This is the dance of supply and demand. To really wrap our heads around this, let's start with the side we all know best, our own wallets. We're talking about the buyer's side. Demand. Okay, so in the world of economics, demand is a little more specific than how we use it every day. It's not just, wanting something. I might want a private jet, but unless I have the ability to actually go out and buy it, I don't have what economists would call demand for one. It has to be that combination of both the willingness and the ability to pay. And that idea leads us straight to this really fundamental rule that pretty much describes how we all act as consumers. It's called the law of demand. And honestly, it's super intuitive once you think about it. This pretty much confirms what we all feel in our gut, right? When the price of something shoots up, we tend to buy less of it. The second it goes on sale, we're ready to buy more. It's this simple, inverse relationship that's always guiding our decisions. So why do we do that? Well, it boils down to a few really key ideas. First, you've got the substitution effect. Super simple. If your favorite brand of coffee gets crazy expensive, you'll probably switch to a cheaper one. Then there's the income effect. A higher price basically makes you feel a little bit poorer. Your money just doesn't go as far, so you can't afford as much stuff. And finally, there's this great concept called diminishing marginal utility. Just think about pizza. That first slice is amazing, right? But the eighth slice? Not so much. You're just not willing to pay the same price for it. Okay, but here's the thing. Price is not the whole story. What happens when other factors come into play? Like, say you get a big raise, or some new trend just explodes out of nowhere. See, when it's only the price that's changing, our overall desire for that thing hasn't really changed. We're just moving up or down along a path that's already there. We're on our existing demand curve. So if jeans are $100, we might buy one pair. If they drop to 50, hey, maybe we buy three. It's the same curve, we're just at a different spot on it. But what if something bigger changes? Let's say you get that big promotion. Now, your entire feeling about those jeans might change. All of a sudden, you're willing to buy more of them at any price. That's not a movement along the old curve anymore. Nope. You've just created a whole new demand curve, and it's shifted over to the right. And these are the big things that cause that shift. The shift factors. We're talking a change in your income, a new fashion trend that makes something the it item, or even just expecting a huge sale next month. All of these can completely change the game, even if the price tag itself hasn't moved an inch. Okay, so that's us, the buyers. Now let's flip the script and look at the other side of the coin, the sellers. They've got their own set of rules, their own motivations. Welcome to the world of supply. And yeah, just like with demand, supply is all about both willingness and ability. A car company might be totally willing to sell 1 million cars, sure, but if their factory can only physically produce 100,000, well, that's their actual supply. And the law of supply, it's pretty much the perfect mirror image of the law of demand. It makes total sense if you think about it from the seller's perspective. For them, a higher price is a huge incentive. It means more potential profit, so of course they're going to be motivated to make and sell more. And if the price tanks, that incentive shrinks and they supply less. It's a direct relationship this time. And again, just like with demand, if it's only the price changing, a producer is just moving along their existing supply curve. They're just tweaking how much they're willing to sell based on that new price. But what if one of the core parts of their business changes? For instance, what if the raw materials they need to make their products suddenly get way cheaper? Well, now they can make more profit at every single price point. Their entire supply curve just shifted. And these are the kinds of things that can shift the whole supply curve. The price of their inputs, labor, materials, a brand new piece of technology that slashes production costs. That'll shift supply to the right. A new tax that makes things more expensive. That'll shift it left. These factors change the fundamental math for sellers no matter what the current price is. Okay, hold on.
So we've got buyers who want low prices and sellers who want high prices. They seem to be in a total tug of war. How does a price ever get decided? And this, right here, is where the magic of the market happens. It's this incredible process of bringing two totally opposite sides together to find one single point where they can agree, all without a single person being in charge.
And that solution has a name: equilibrium. It's that one magical price where the amount that buyers want to buy is exactly the same as the amount that sellers want to sell. You see where those two curves cross? That's it. The market is balanced. It's like a virtual handshake between buyers and sellers.
But what happens when the price isn't at that sweet spot? Well, if the price is too high, sellers have a ton of stuff to sell, but nobody's buying. That's a surplus. Think about all those holiday decorations on a massive sale on December 26th. That surplus forces sellers to lower the price. On the flip side, if the price is too low, everybody wants it, but there isn't enough to go around. That's a shortage. And that's exactly why scalpers can charge a fortune for a sold-out concert. That shortage gives sellers the power to raise the price. The market is this amazing self-correcting machine, always pushing back towards equilibrium.
But here's the key: that sweet spot is almost never permanent. The market is a living, breathing thing, and it's constantly adjusting as all those shift factors we talked about change the entire equation. And while this supply and demand model is incredibly powerful, it's really important to remember it has its limits. This idea, the fallacy of composition, is a perfect example. Just think about being at a concert. If you stand up, you get a better view, right? That's true for you as an individual. But what happens if everyone stands up? Suddenly, nobody's view is any better. What works for one part of the system doesn't always work for the whole. And that's something we have to remember in big, complex economies. But at the end of the day, this simple, elegant dance of supply and demand, it really does explain so much. From the price you pay for gasoline to the cost of your morning latte. It's the invisible hand guiding the market. So the next time you see a price suddenly change, ask yourself, was that a shift in demand, a shift in supply, or just a little movement along the curve? Thanks for watching.